Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how we love to geek out over here, and today we are diving headfirst into something super practical that I know a lot of you have been asking for. Idioms.
And not just any idioms. We're talking about 30 of the most common ones that you're bound to hear in everyday conversations. The ones that'll help you really sound like you belong, you know?
Totally. I remember when I first started really learning English, idioms were like these weird puzzles, like why are we talking about cats and bags? But once you start using them, they just make your speech so much more colorful and natural.
It's true. They're like shortcuts to expressing these really nuanced ideas or feelings. And the list we've got for you today, it's pure gold for anyone who wants to level up their everyday English.
Absolutely. So are we ready to jump right in?
Let's do it.
All right, so we've grouped these 30 idioms by theme to make them a bit easier to digest. And first up, we're tackling work and achievement.
A classic theme.
Right. And we've got some real winners here, like piece of cake, hit the nail on the head, burn the midnight oil.
Oh, and go the extra mile. I feel like those are all so common in a work setting, or even just talking about goals in general.
They really are. Imagine you're in a team meeting and someone just nails a presentation.
Totally. You could chime in, be like, you hit the nail on the head. It shows you're engaged, you're impressed.
Yes. Or let's say your boss asks us if you can handle another task, and you're like, yeah, piece of cake.
Exactly. It shows you're capable and willing to take on more. But I will say, be careful with that one because you don't want to sound overconfident if the task is actually pretty demanding.
Very true. Very true. It's all about, reading the room and using these idioms strategically.
Context is key.
Okay, so how about we move on to something a bit more, emotional.
I'm intrigued.
Let's talk about feelings. We've got under the weather, costs an arm and a leg, on cloud nine, and in the same boat.
Oh, those are good. Cost an arm and a leg, I use that one all the time. Like whenever I'm talking about something that was way too expensive, it's like, ouch, my bank account.
The accuracy. That reminds me of a time when I was on cloud nine after receiving some amazing news. And honestly, I felt like I was floating, just like the idiom suggests.
And then there are those times when life throws you a curveball. And, you're going through something tough and a friend is going through something similar and you're just like, hey, we're in the same boat.
It's all about that solidarity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's switch gears again and talk about secrets and surprises, because I think these are some of the most fun idioms out there. Let the cat out of the bag, spill the beans.
They're just so visual, Like you can almost picture those beans tumbling out, representing all that juicy gossip.
I know, right? And speaking of visual idioms, bite the bullet always gets me. Did you know that it actually comes from this historical practice where soldiers, during surgery, before anesthesia was a thing, would literally bite down on a bullet to deal with the pain?
Wow, I did not know that. That's wild.
Right. It's like facing something difficult head on.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored work and achievement, feelings, secrets, surprises. As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious, what stands out to you about these 30 idioms? How do you see yourself using them?
I think it's amazing how just a few well-placed idioms can really transform the way you sound, make you sound so much more fluent and engaging in everyday conversations.
Absolutely. So listeners, as you start to sprinkle these idioms into your own conversations, really pay attention to how they make you feel, how others respond, because language at its core, it's all about connection. And idioms, they're like the secret sauce that can make those connections stronger and more meaningful.
Couldn't agree more.
So until next time, happy language learning, everyone.